Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to discuss a very important topic, how to respond when someone misbehaves with you. In life, we all face moments when people hurt us, whether with their words or their actions. It's a challenge that all of us, regardless of our backgrounds, encounter at some point. The question is, how should we respond when someone disrespects us, insults us, or mistreats us? Islam teaches us not to react with anger or vengeance but instead to maintain our dignity and composure, always striving to act in a manner that pleases Allah. In this video, I'll share with you 3 powerful sentences that you can say when someone misbehaves with you. These sentences aren't just words, they represent the values of patience, respect, and good character that Islam promotes. So, if you are wondering how to handle such situations, stay tuned, because in this video, we are going to break down the Islamic principles behind responding to mistreatment and how to handle yourself in the best possible way. The importance of maintaining good character in Islam cannot be overstated. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The best among you are those with the best character." Sahih Bukhari. Islam places a great emphasis on how we interact with others. The way we speak, the way we behave, and the way we treat those around us all reflect the strength of our faith. When we face mistreatment, it's easy to respond in kind, to react in anger, or to seek revenge. But the Quran and the Hadith teach us that the best response is to remain patient, to respond with wisdom, and to avoid the behavior that caused us harm in the first place. This is where good character comes in. Good character means not letting the negative actions of others change our own behavior. Instead of retaliating, we should strive to respond in a way that maintains our honor, dignity, and the teachings of Islam. The Quran mentions in Surah Al-Araf, "Take what is given freely, enjoin what is good, and turn away from the ignorant." This verse encourages us to practice patience and to avoid engaging with ignorant behavior. Instead of lowering ourselves to the same level as those who misbehave, we are encouraged to rise above it and to keep our conduct in line with the teachings of Islam. Before we can discuss how to respond to mistreatment, it's important to first understand what misbehaving means from an Islamic perspective. In Islam, there are various forms of misbehavior, each of which requires a different response. One of the most common forms of mistreatment is verbal abuse. The Quran warns us about the harm of speaking ill of others, and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "A believer is the one from whose tongue and hands the people are safe." Sahih Bukhari. Whether it's cursing, slandering, or insulting, verbal abuse can be incredibly damaging. In these situations, it's essential to respond with calmness and dignity, as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, showed in his own life when he was subjected to harsh words and insults. Another form of mistreatment is physical harm. Islam is very clear in its condemnation of violence and oppression. The Quran says in Surah Al-Baqarah, "Fight in the way of Allah those who fight you, but do not transgress." Indeed, Allah does not like transgressors. This verse teaches us that self-defense is allowed, but we must never go beyond what is necessary or act out of anger. In fact, it is always better to seek peace, even in situations of conflict. Principles of responding to mistreatment according to Islam. Now that we understand what misbehavior looks like, let's talk about how to respond to it from an Islamic standpoint. The first thing to remember is that Islam teaches us to be patient and to respond with kindness. The Quran says in Surah Fussilat, "Repel evil with that which is better." This verse offers a profound lesson in how to deal with mistreatment. Instead of reacting in kind, we are encouraged to respond in a way that improves the situation. For example, if someone speaks harshly to you, the best response would be to speak kindly in return, or even remain silent. It's about controlling our emotions and choosing the high road. Furthermore, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the epitome of patience. He faced countless insults, physical harm, and emotional abuse throughout his life, but he always responded with kindness. One famous example is when the people of Taif rejected him and even threw stones at him. Yet, despite this mistreatment, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did not seek revenge. Instead, he prayed for their guidance. This act of mercy teaches us that patience and forgiveness are often the best responses when facing adversity. Which 3 sentences to say when someone misbehaves with you? Now, let's dive into the 3 sentences I mentioned at the beginning. These sentences can be powerful tools for maintaining your composure and dignity when confronted with misbehavior. Let's look at each one. I don't appreciate being treated like this. This sentence is a clear statement of your feelings. When someone mistreats you, it's important to let them know that you don't accept such behavior. By calmly and respectfully expressing how their actions have affected you, you are setting a boundary without escalating the situation. In Islam, it is important to stand up for yourself when you are wronged, as long as it's done in a respectful manner. Please speak to me with respect. This sentence is a polite yet firm request for the other person to adjust their behavior. It's a reminder that mutual respect is a cornerstone of any relationship, whether personal or professional. Islam encourages us to treat others with kindness and respect, and this sentence reminds the other person of that standard. I will not tolerate this kind of behavior. This sentence sets a clear boundary and indicates that you will not allow mistreatment to continue. In Islam, standing up for yourself is not only acceptable but necessary when your rights are being violated. It's important to assert your boundaries, and this sentence does so in a firm but respectful way. These 3 sentences are not just words, they reflect the values of dignity, respect, and justice that Islam teaches. They allow you to stand up for yourself without compromising your character or lowering yourself to the level of the person who misbehaved. In conclusion, when faced with mistreatment, it's important to remember that we are not helpless victims. Islam gives us clear guidelines on how to respond to mistreatment with patience, respect, and dignity. The 3 sentences we discussed, I don't appreciate being treated like this, please speak to me with respect, and I will not tolerate this kind of behavior, are simple but powerful tools to help maintain your integrity and avoid falling into negative reactions. By following the example of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, we can rise above the difficulties of life and maintain the best character, no matter the provocation. May Allah guide us all to respond to mistreatment in the best way and help us embody the noble character of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. If you found this video beneficial, please consider sharing it with others, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on Islamic teachings.